Hello and welcome viewers, I'm Hiral Daria. You have the Q3 GDP numbers that will be out this evening. Let's understand what is the expectation, whether the economy is out of the woods or not. We have Teresa John, Economist at Nirmal joining us. Teresa, overall the expectation is that a pretty flattish number is expected to come in. What are your estimates looking like?
So we are also expecting only a marginal improvement from around 4.5% in Q2 to 4.6%. We've not seen a significant turnaround in the economy as yet, because despite the fact that over the last 2 months we've seen some stability in the indicators, so things are not deteriorating further from what it was in Q2, but there's no significant improvement as well.
Right. So overall, what is it that's actually creating the pressure?
So mainly the pressure is on the manufacturing side. So last quarter there was a decline of around 1% in the manufacturing sector. We're still expecting it to continue to decline, but the pace of decline comes down to around 0.3% on a year-on-year basis.
Right, so that's about manufacturing. But apart from that, if you have to talk about any other segments, are you seeing any rebound anywhere?
So the only two sectors where we can see where I can say we're probably seeing a mild rebound in agriculture. The kharif production, which will be mainly accounted for in these numbers, it's been broadly flat, but the Rabi sowing has been progressing quite well. So we're expecting some rebound coming through a little bit in Q3 and going into Q4 as well. And government spending was very strong in Q2, continues to remain strong in Q3 as well. So that's one of the sectors that have been supporting growth over the past 2 quarters.
Right, and any sectors where you're seeing a marginal pickup that could be coming in? Because again, you have the retail space that actually is the cusp of the economy.
So on the consumption side, there's a sector called trade, hotels and transport and communication, where we are expecting a mild pickup, mainly because your traffic indicators have seen some improvement in Q3.
Okay, and overall, what are your estimates looking like in terms of FY20 GDP and 21 forecast?
So our FY20 stands at 5%. There is a mild downside risk to that, but the base numbers for FY19 will probably being revised down. They be already revised down to 6.1% from 6.8% on an annual basis, and the quarterly numbers will also probably be revised down. So that's why we retain an estimate at 5%. For next year, we are expecting a rebound to 6% in FY21. But the coronavirus, I think that poses a downside risk, particularly to the Q1 FY21 numbers.
Right, and for any of the investors who will be watching out for the GDP numbers, anything they need to keep their eyes on, any two or three factors that we need to watch out for?
Mainly, I think the agri numbers are important. Although this small section of the GDP itself, it kind of gives you a sense of whether there is, the possibility of a rural recovery. And if you want a consumption rebound, will largely have to come from the rural sector. So if you see the commentary from most of the companies, they've been talking about rural, which was typically growing as like 2x of your urban consumer, now growing at probably half of what the urban sector is growing at. So if you want to see some rural rebound, I think you would need to see a pickup in the agri sector.
Right, and very lastly, if you have to look at the GDP as well as the IIP numbers have been shrinking, at least in the month of December, what we've seen. Taking this into consideration, if you talk about GDP as well, last 6 consecutive quarters we've seen a downtick on the GDP numbers. If you see a flattish number this time around, or even a marginal improvement, is it a positive sign?
Yeah, to the extent that we don't see a fall, I think that is definitely a positive. But although we're not expecting, as I said, we're not expecting things to deteriorate from here, but we think the recovery will be slow.
Right. All right, Teresa, thank you for joining in. So that's the analysis of what could be expected from the Q3 GDP numbers this evening. Thanks for watching.